And welcome back to the Angry Teacher channel. I'm Richard Williams, the Angry Teacher, and today we're just going to be chilling and talking about the expected outcomes of a lesson or how it's supposed to progress, all right? So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, then go ahead and get something to drink and just chill for a little bit with me. If not, kind of click out, but don't forget to come back because you know there's going to be a video later that is going to pique your interest, and then we'll do it all again, right? So in any case, before I forget, go ahead and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for the next dope Angry Teacher video, because you know it will be as the school year starts. I've got something to say now. Anyway, but let's get into it. There are three things you need to be aware of, 3 P's if you will, that you need to be aware of as you plan a lesson or as you expect from the students throughout a lesson. So the first P is the purpose. Then we go into the process, and then we go to the product. With that said, the bulk of your lesson will be the process. However, you need to know what the product is first, and then you can build into that. All right, so let's get into it. You've heard, and I'm probably going to do a video on that later, Marzano's steps for effective lesson planning. I'm probably going to do a video on that later, but for the most part, you've probably heard the expression before, plan with the end in mind. So that's your product. What do you want students to be able to do? So you have that in your mind while you're starting with the purpose and the process. So the purpose is, you know, your lesson objective. What do you want them to know? And then the product is how do you want them to show what they've learned from you throughout that process. With that said, you have, it's student driven. It is based in literacy, it's based on how did the author get from why did the author write this, and what were they trying to convey through this writing that you're reading. So the purpose of a lesson is clearly defined. So both you and the students know where you plan to go with this. It pushes students to think clearly, to think deeper, to think critically, and it forces students, especially in literacy, to figure out what the author wants to convey through the text that we're reading, whether it be to inform you, to entertain you, to have you think about a more global community. Whatever the purpose is, that's what we're figuring out in the first part of your lesson planning purpose. All right. The second one, the process. Now I'm going to have a little plug here. That's for the most part the premise of my store, lesson activities. What can we do here to get students to the outcome? I do have some stuff about the outcome too, but I'm gonna save that for later. But for the most part, this is the process. This is what I want them to do to understand. This is how I want them to show it. How do I get them to do it here in the middle, the process? So this is having students read, reread, have them act stuff out, have them interact with the text, have them highlight and do all these different things that would help them break down the text, figure out what the author is saying, figure out what it means to us as readers, and how can we get the most out of that text as best as possible. That's the process. It looks like us having discussions. It looks like us having small writing short responses. It has us drawing. It has us doing different things that would break it down for the different levels of kids, different levels of learners, so they understand the same thing that anyone anywhere else who has read the text will. And then that is the second, that's the bridge between the purpose and the product, the outcome. All right. So once again, the lesson activities or the activities, the process, it bridges the purpose with the product. It bridges the objective with the outcome. Now the last P, the product. Now, when we were planning, when we started the purpose, we were thinking about the end product, the outcome. And so this is going to look like your performance. It's going to look like your essays. It's going to look like your multiple choice. It's going to look like your ability to debate a topic. What did you want them to get from this? How did you want them to show that they got it? This is that place. And that's the final P in the 3 Ps of your lesson planning. The purpose, which is the lesson objective, the process, how are we going to do it, the different activities, the different things that we're going to go through from day 1 to day 5 or whatever to get them to understand and to get them to produce the product, the final P, the outcome. We went through all of it. Now prove to me that you've mastered what we've gone through for the past week or so, or a couple of days. That's all the time I have for you today. Thanks for swinging by. Go ahead and check out the other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.